What if the Lexus you're about to buy isn't the reliable luxury car you think it is? What if that great deal is actually a warning sign? Could a used Lexus end up costing more than a brand new car? Lexus is known for comfort, quality, and Toyota-level reliability. But does that apply to every model? Why do some Lexus vehicles rack up complaints, recalls, and expensive repairs as they age? And which used Lexus models should you avoid, no matter how tempting the price? Before you trust the badge, before you sign the papers, and before you make a costly mistake, drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this helped, and subscribe for more real-world car buying truths. Let's break down 8 used Lexus models you should steer clear of at all costs. Number 1. Lexus IS 250 2007 to 2012. First up on the list is the second-generation IS 250, which has earned the reputation as the Lexus model to absolutely avoid. The release of the IS 250 saw a transition from a multi-point fuel injection system in the engine to a direct injection system instead. This should have made for a more fuel-efficient model, but a lot of owners started to notice carbon buildup in the intake valves and injectors down the line. This can cause a plethora of issues, including your engine misfiring and even fluctuating or shuddering at idle speeds, also known as rough idle. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Even more concerning with the IS 250 is the number of recalls that have been issued by the NTHS, especially with the 2007 model. One recall was made based on there being a potential for the floor mat to interfere with the accelerator pedal, causing the throttle of the engine to enter the wide-open position. In simpler terms, this pretty much means that there's a chance that the floor mat causes the accelerator pedal to be pushed all the way down and make your car move at full speed. The NTHS estimated that there are almost 4.5 million cars affected by this, which is an extremely significant number. There are also more minor issues to be aware of, like discoloration of the inside rearview mirror and melting of the dashboard. Number 2. Lexus LS 460, 2007 to 2012. The LS in LS 460 stands for Luxury Sedan, and the LS line is thought by some to be one of Lexus's most iconic models ever. It's loved for its comfort, reliability, top-of-the-line technology, and, as the name implies, luxurious look and interior. However, though it might seem like the epitome of luxury, there are a few potential problems with the early models of the LS 460 that you should factor in when deciding to purchase one used. One complaint that a number of 2007 to 2012 LS 460 owners have made to the NHTSA is the potential for the brake actuator to malfunction or sometimes totally fail, which puts you at risk when driving, especially when you need to brake in an emergency. When this was brought to its attention in 2016, Lexus started an extended warranty program to replace the brake actuator assembly. But based on the warranty requirements for buyers claiming after 2017, it's extremely unlikely that if you're buying a used LS 460 with this issue today, your car will be covered, and replacing the module will cost you a pretty penny. Also, the NHTSA issued a recall on over 100,000 cars produced by Toyota and Lexus due to an issue with the valve springs that could cause the engine to suddenly fail, even when the car is in motion. Of course, there's a chance that you get an unaffected model, but this wasn't the only recall made to these models, so it's better to skip them altogether. Number 3. Lexus HS 250H. The HS 250H was Lexus's attempt to create its own version of the widely successful Toyota Prius and merge luxury with fuel efficiency. It marked the brand's first toe dip into manufacturing dedicated hybrid cars, but it wasn't quite the success it envisioned, with a set of issues that led to it being axed after just 3 years. Since its release, the NHTSA has issued 7 recalls on the HS250H for potential safety risks, including potential complete loss of motive power, defects in the suspension that could cause you to lose control of the car when driving, and brake malfunctions. But Lexus learned from its mistakes and has since released a number of hybrid models that are worth considering over the HS250H, like the CT200H. Recalls aside, people were generally disappointed with the HS250 when it launched. It had a surprisingly noisy engine that made a loud droning sound during acceleration, lacking the signature Lexus quietness, and its ride was far less smooth than the Prius it tried to imitate. There was also the issue of people feeling like the size of the exterior was misleading when you took into account the relatively small interior. Number 4. Lexus RX 330, 2004 to 2006. Another model to watch out for is the Lexus RX 330, the second generation of the RX series, which was produced from 2004 to 2006. While the newer models of the RX series are far more reliable, these earlier models were plagued with a number of issues that only got worse with age. The RX 330 is notorious for the brakes failing on the drivers of these cars, with some owners even reporting that they ended up in serious crashes because the car just wouldn't stop, even when they were pushing down on the brake pedal all the way. In 2010, Toyota notified the NHTSA of an issue where some brake fluid could slowly leak into the brake boosters, which would cause a spongy sensation when the brake pedal is pushed down, and eventually the brake function of the car would deteriorate. All of this is to say that after extended use, you could be dealing with the issue of a defective braking system, with Lexus themselves saying that this could cause a crash. A recall was issued, and the NHTSA estimated that over 700,000 Toyota-produced cars were affected, which is a lot considering that the RX 330 wasn't in production for very long. Some other problems with the RX 330 that owners have reported include stiff steering, oil leaks, and issues with the transmission like rough shifting and premature failure. Number 5. Lexus GS 300, 2006 to 2008. When the GS series was released, it was intended to fall in the middle of Lexus's sports sedan spectrum, between the smaller compact IS series and the bigger flagship LS series, and people loved it. Since its release, the cars have become known for comfortable, luxurious interiors and distinct styling that's sportier than other luxury sedans. The GS 300 has seen many iterations, and though they've mostly been well received, there have been a couple of low points, particularly with the third-generation models, which were in production from 2006 to 2011. Recalls have been issued on the 2006 and 2007 models of the GS 300, mainly for issues regarding the fuel delivery system. One recall was made based on a problem where the fuel pressure sensor wasn't tightened enough on a significant number of units, leading to a fuel leak. Another recall was made because there was a possibility that fuel could corrode the delivery pipes and create a hole in it, which would also cause a leak. The NHTSA saw this as a safety hazard because it could potentially start a fire if there was an ignition source nearby. Another thing to note is that the engine in GS 300 uses a direct fuel injection system, which, as we said earlier, opens you up to having to deal with carbon buildup in the intake valves. Number 6. Lexus ES 350, 2007 to 2008. The ES 350 made its debut as the 5th generation of the ES series for the 2007 model year. It wasn't meant to be a performance-focused machine, but instead it comfortably got you where you needed to go in a luxurious, quiet cabin. However, like a lot of other Lexus models from this era, the ES350, particularly the 2007 and 2008 models, had a very serious problem with dashboard and interior door panels melting over time due to heat exposure or humidity. This would lead to the entire dashboard initially having a shiny look when it started to melt, eventually becoming sticky or starting to crack. Lexus started a warranty program to replace the dashboard and door panels for 10 years from when the car was first used. But since you'll be buying used, if the first owner never had it replaced, it's unfortunately likely you'll have to pay out of pocket to get it done. The ES350 also had several serious recalls issued, 3 of them affecting over 3 million units in total. This had to do with the possibility of sharp metal fragments hitting passengers in the car if the airbag was deployed in an accident. There was also another pretty serious recall concerning the same accelerator entrapment issue that the IS250 was recalled for, and almost 4.5 million cars were affected by this. Number 7. Lexus RX 350, 2007 to 2009. The RX series, standing for Radiant Crossover, is Lexus's mid-size crossover SUVs. First introduced in Japan for the 1998 model year, the release of the RX marked the world's first luxury crossover, offering the premium driving experience typical of luxury brands like Lexus, alongside the practicality and versatility of an SUV. The RX 350 was one of the second-generation models of the RX series, and while later models receive almost no complaints, the earlier models have a couple of issues that you might want to know about before deciding to get one. Problems with the RX 350 are extremely similar to that of RX 330. One commonly experienced mishap is shift lag, when there's a noticeable delay between when your car shifts gears and when the transmission responds. Dashboard cracking, melting, and stickiness is another common issue, just like a lot of other Lexus models produced during this period. There are also other minor issues like oil leaks and intermittent oil pressure, as well as problems with the air conditioning. It's also worth mentioning that over 700,000 cars, which includes some RX 350s, were recalled because of an issue where the retention clips for the floor carpet could interfere with the accelerator pedal and cause the car to speed up unintentionally, which could lead to a crash. Number 8. Lexus GX 470, 2005 to 2009. Debuting in 2002 and remaining a staple in Lexus's lineup, the GX series has always been a strong contender in the midsize SUV market. If you're considering a used model, the first-generation GX 470 is actually a solid option compared to others on this list, though the GX 460 is a more reliable Lexus car in general. It has had far fewer recalls issued by the NHTSA, and there aren't many complaints from longtime users, but it's not completely perfect, and there are some possible issues you could experience, especially when opting for an older model. One of the more troublesome, though infrequent issues with the GX 470 involves the secondary air injection system. In some cases, the air pump can transfer debris into the valves of the injection system, causing them to malfunction and triggering the check engine light. When this happens, you might experience a loud booming noise when you start up your car. If this happens, the entire air injection system will need to be replaced because of the way it's designed. Trying to find and remove the debris won't cut it. You should also watch out for problematic side curtain shield airbags, as a recall was issued in 2016 regarding this problem. So now the question is, would you still buy one of these Lexus models knowing what you know now? Was the low price really a bargain or a red flag? And how many buyers wish they'd done this research before signing the papers? If this video saved you from a costly mistake, why not help someone else avoid one too? Which Lexus model surprised you the most? And what car should we expose next?